what we've got here is failure to communicate.
Hey, I'm UFC President Dana White, and you're in the ring with Callum McGregor.
They're staring at me. See them?
Okay, first fight that we are going to break down would be the main event. We're going to look at Jack Hermansson against Strickland. And the biggest thing I saw when I looked at the tape, and I was going to go through some numbers on this, but really, they're pretty evenly matched, man. And they really nullify each other in a lot of places. I think the one number that's really important that's going to have to stand true is 82% takedown defense of Strickland. But Strickland coming in with a record of 24-3-0 against Hermansson, who's 22-6-0. Right now, Hermansson's sitting at a plus 175, and Sean Strickland sitting at a chalky negative or minus 220. So at minus 220, I mean, I'd still probably parlay him up. I'm thinking about it anyways, but I'll get into how I'm going to pick that one in a minute. My main thought in this, man, is I think that Hermansson's probably going to be able to take Strickland down at some point. You're probably going to see maybe one or two takedowns. But I don't know if he's going to be able to keep him down for long periods of time and do enough damage. And I think the one thing that's going to play out as, the edge here, because the guys are so evenly matched, is really literally the crazy. And I don't mean, the Strickland crazy from Twitter. I don't mean the edgy comments, the cringy comments from, any interview he does. I mean the Strickland that's going to go in there with Ngannou and spar. I mean the guy that will spar every guy and any guy and step up to any camp and fight everybody because he's going to throw his head at a cement wall. And that's it. I'm not saying he's looking to go out there and be a punching bag against his opponent. I'm saying he's going to throw down and he's going to come forward and he's going to press. And I think the game plan here is to let Hermansson try to run his wrestling a little bit. Let Hermansson throw some shots. Get him on his back foot and pressure him. Get him tired and then put him out in the third round. I know this is a main event. I get that both these guys, I don't think either of them actually have any of them hit 5-round fights? I don't think they have. So looking at a tempo or a pace, setting him up for the third round finish, I like Strickland in this one, man.
Well, we may have our head-to-head right off the bat, man, because I got to side with Jack in this one. I think there's a lot of recency bias going into Sean Strickland. I think if you look at the people he's fought, he's lost to some of the bigger competition, obviously one being Kamaru Usman, who's a champion. But whenever I look at the guys he's beaten recently, you're looking at Uriah Hall, Christoph Jocko, Brendan Allen, who's the one here that I will give him credit for, and Jack Marshman. And whenever you look at Jack Hermansson, the guy's been facing the top tier of the division for a good long period now. And although you're going to look at his record and be like, oh, he's 22-6, he's lost 2 out of his last 3. I think he's been beating the better competition. I think he's been facing the tougher competition. Like whenever I look down to it, Edmund Shabazian, I know we're all kind of off that hype train now, but Martin Vittori, Kevin Gastelum, Jared Cannonier. And I think that although the crazy will play a factor with Strickland, I think Jack Hermansson is just as fucking crazy. Like if you look at that fight with Edmund Shabazian, he got his ass kicked in the first round pretty badly. And I was all confident because I told everybody it was going to happen with Edmund. And he came out in the next 2 rounds and beat the shit out of Edmund Shabazian. And we all know that Edmund Shabazian's wrestling isn't great. But this guy's a scrapper too, man. He's got just as much crazy. So in this side, I'm on the dog in this one. I think Jack will probably be able to get him down, win more minutes. And I think Strickland's live early. But I think as this fight progresses, it favors Jack a little bit more.
Okay, so you see what a grindy decision?
Yeah, I see a grindy decision or a late TKO or submission from Jack Hermansson. But if it happens, I think it'll be later in the fight.
All right, so we split it up. And I mean, I remember I wasn't really on the Strickland train too much. I remember even when we talked to Aaron Jeffries and he was talking about just his training. And the one thing that stuck out with me is he's in Vegas a lot, pretty much almost all the time. And he's nonstop getting new upper level talent coming in and out and training with him. He's training with top guys all the time. Why? Because everybody wants to train with Strickland.
Yeah.
So I just think that he's seen almost every look there possibly is at this point. And it is something that I'm seeing on social media a lot of just his training, what he's up to, who he's training with. not just the Ngannou sparring match. There's way more than that. So I just think that I don't know if I can see Hermansson like if you can grind a wrestling fight, at least a little bit of top control in almost every round and grind it to about a fourth or fifth round. I see what you're saying. I see there could be a tired Strickland that he could maybe do something to. But I don't know, man. I don't see him winning enough time, and I think eventually Strickland's going to catch him. I think he's getting to a next level now, and his striking's going to be way better this time around, and the pressure's going to be too much. But it's two head cases in there, and I'm with you. This is going to be one. You could be on either side of it, but it's better to pick a side because if you try to go with the time prop, it could go the distance. It could end the first round. You just don't know where this one could go. So.
The champ, John Jones.
Follow me on Twitter.